Hi guys, it's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I wasn't going to post another video again tonight, but I read Helen Thompson's comment on my page and I just thought it was so beautiful. And I know that there's many of you who are viewing the video and you are feeling this energy, and I think that I really want to help support you guys throughout this process because it's a beautiful shift finally. And I just want many of you to enjoy it and trust in the process. There are going to be times that are really going to trigger you in terms of like going back into old patterns of thinking or being triggered by your masculine's behavior. But just trust each other so that the connection and relationship can grow and bond. One thing I wanted to mention to you guys is there are those of you who are moving into like, like the phase of like connecting through voice, so speaking over the phone. And many of you are starting to see things from a different perspective, and I want to let those of you know who have not been in touch with your masculines or counterparts for a really long time, or sometimes it feels like you really don't know what's going on or you want to give up on this journey, but you just can't get away from it. The universe is going to reward you for a lot of the hard work that a lot of you are putting into this, specifically just dealing with it, okay? Just having it invade your mind, invade your space, invade your life. But, somehow I think that we might have signed up for it. So hang in there, guys. I'm with you 100%, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and dive into the Tarot of Sexual Magic, my favorite deck, just to send the Divine Feminine some more messages from their masculines at this time because they are coming in hot and heavy, guys. Now we know the moon card is the very feminine card in this deck. And I think with this card, the two images, as you guys can kind of like see here, the twin flames have mirrored each other for a really long time. And in the last reading, I shared that I think the feminine had to go through a lot of like the heavy emotions with the moon phases and learning a lot about the spiritual aspects of this journey because she knew at some point her masculine was going to come forward and they were going to mirror each other in terms of like the passion. It was going to be returned to her in some way. And I think that that is why many of you really held on as tightly to this connection and stayed steady, even through like the bad times, even throughout the judgments and stuff like that from other people. I mean, not that many of you are sharing the journey so much with other people, because I think like you've had to like learn and burn when it comes to opening up about your twin flame connection with other people. But, overall, I think that the energy of the moon card is that you both are seeing right now that the tables are turning and the masculines right now are needing the feminine's assistance and understanding what's happening with this journey. I'm going to go here with the Ten of Pentacles, okay? So they are surely working hard in order to provide for the feminine. So if you'll notice, she's sitting back and relaxing, surrounded by fruits, And there's that mirror in the background as well. And it's like two mirror images coming up in the spread or in the reading. And for me, it's just like divine counterparts. You know, the energy of the 10, like completion, understanding what they both want, and really going for that and not wasting any more time is what I get. And that's why I feel like the masculines are coming in really boldly and surprising a lot of the divine feminines, because it's kind of like what they've been working on in the background. And it's like what I get from this too is like they won't have it any other way, in terms of like having you all to themselves, providing for you in every way possible. And that's just the energy of like the masculine collective. Like the divine masculines really want to nurture and protect you, but it's more in like a very possessive way. Like you see how he's hovering over her, like very protective, his hand on her belly. Her belly almost looks pregnant, like we've mentioned in past readings. It's like they're both in the flames there, which is the clear sign of the twin flame journey. And however that may resonate for you guys, I know the word twin flame itself is very triggering to some people, but hey, if that's how it found you, that's how it found you, right? We all need to learn about what's going on in our lives, and sometimes this connection with this other person can sometimes turn our world into a lot of illusions. Now, the Devil card here, especially after like the one which talks about like new beginnings with them and stuff like that, like I think that this is what like they're both getting past. And now that the masculine's like rushing in, it's like the feminines and the devil energy are feeling this devil energy now. Okay, and we know like in terms of numerology that the devil card will represent the number 15. Okay, so that results in the number 16. So 16 boils down to a 7, which tells me like feminines, just have confidence in him. Like don't be tempted by, like the whispering in your ear about like, he must be doing this, he must be doing that. Like I know how triggering it can be when you're in communication with them for some time and then all of a sudden it seems like they're ghosting you. You kind of like question like, okay, you just said, but what I notice comes up with this devil energy is like we're being tested as well to understand that like sometimes they've got stuff going on just like we do right now, and that it's not always meant to be taken in a way where they're forgetting about us or are trying to ghost us or trying to go back on their word. It's just, they're with the Pentacles energy, they're working really hard. And sometimes for men, like love is like on the back burner, romance is on the back burner when they're in this like build mode, right? And he's in this build mode because he surely does want to provide for you. Like he's worried about who you're with, who's telling you what, who's feeding you what, which immature energies may be surrounding you right now, because many of you feminines have options available. Like there are many suitors in your lives who are just waiting patiently, but it's like the divine feminine can't, settle. Like I feel it's like even though there's immature energy, like the only immature energy she wants around is like her saucy masculine in conversation sometimes, them being who they can be with each other. And I always notice like this image with the magic of the frogs there. Like to me, I think that the energy of like the frogs is like somehow like, and with the two women there, it's like both of these like whispering in their ears have kind of like been trying to convince them both. You found each other. Like look at their energy in this card. Like it's sometimes what this tells me too with like this whole swords energy, again air signs coming up, I don't know why, but it's like you two are very passionate about each other, but you want to do it in this way that is very free. I think that many of you have experienced very unstable connections in your past, which is why it's making this twin flame love very, very hard to trust. But it is forcing you to open up to who it is you really are, whether that is very sexual in nature. Like many of you are experiencing your masculines being so sexual and you don't know what to do with it. That's where the inner work comes in. Why does sexual energy scare you like this? especially those of you who really want to give in, but you're scared. Go deep, dig deep, find out why that's happening. I'm going to end off the reading with the Eight of Wands, okay? So our fire signs, if you're listening, it's just a very passionate energy. Like, for me, like the fire energy itself is all about what makes us tick and what we think about constantly, what we can't get off our mind. And for the masculine, like they're just in this place now of just wanting to please the feminine, wanting to wait for her, wanting to be very nurturing, build with her with that ladder up there, just move forward. But I think that because, he's coming in so quickly, it's like she's kind of like, are you forgetting that you've been like a complete jerk for the last little while? And he's being very patient and understanding, I think, with her at this time, and just letting her kind of feel out the connection a little bit, as you should, feminines, because a lot of you have been through some really crazy times with the connection overall, with the twin flame journey hitting you, period. What this person has done to your own personal life, your feelings, your heart, your mind. So I'm with you guys. I totally get it. And just stay strong, use discernment, and continue to build with each other, because at the end of the day, it's what you both want, no matter what you try to convince yourselves of outside of the connection. You both are constantly moving towards each other. I hope this reading finds you all well. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.